Last day of volunteering at YHA Swanage. Gonna ask if I can stay one day later or leave a day earlier, just to have some flexibility here because of the no buses going to Ilum on Sunday. So we'll see if I can get that flexibility, and then I'll call later after working and we will see what the timeline ends up looking like. Just because I don't think Sunday would work, and I know that we're going to be open past the first here, so should be fine. Um, yeah, let's go. Let's go turn over. It does feel a little bit more like ripping the band-aid off here since I've stayed here for longer, but um, yeah, I feel like other than the super long hike along the coast, I've done everything I wanted to do here, and yeah, I can't see staying here indefinitely. There's just not anything that makes sense for me long term, but definitely has served me well for the time that I was here. All right, just went down and attempted to start work, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't actually have anything for you to do today. Kind of a mistake having you on for the stay here." Um, which is awesome. Cool. Gives me a lot more time today. And yeah, on top of that, I am I'm gonna try and use this time tracking app, but I need to remember to use it if I'm gonna be tracking anything properly here. But yeah, on top of that, I was able to ask, and Gary is totally fine me leaving a day early or staying and leaving on Monday. So that was cool, and I could also put him down as a reference too, and just to put his email down. It was my main boss here, so that takes off the two things that I needed to cover, and all I had to do was, I don't know, 10 minutes of talking today, other than anything else. And I got to say my goodbyes and chat a little bit, which was great. Kind of go over my short-term plan through January of volunteering. So yeah, that's awesome. Feel good about that. And I mean, yeah, really, if I'm granted a day to go crazy and put applications in, today is the day, and have plenty of time to do calls with my family and friends and have an actual Thanksgiving today. So awesome. Shout out to the team. Not too cold today. Doing my last run here because don't really know what the weather's going to be like tomorrow, and even if I do the long run, I as well walk it, and I can just focus on running today. So yeah, a little 5-minute warm up, 15-minute run, 5-minute cool down, and I shaved, did my eyebrows, got my neck trimmed, so feeling clean while I have my own sink to do some grooming. I got my phone call coming up here in a bit. The time logging is trying to keep me accountable for doing stuff and getting things done. Enjoy the last beautiful view here. Jam out to some tunes, run along the water, and yeah, should be a good time. Going on my walk as far as I can until it's dark. Journey along the coast. The weather seems good, and seems like it's been nice enough for the past couple of days at least that it shouldn't be terribly muddy. I didn't get up super early, but I'm getting to go on things here. It's probably 9:20ish, and I do need to get food is the main thing. I need to get food regardless. So even if I go to get food and it's incredibly muddy, I will still be able to eat it just fine. I'm going to be leaving on Monday now, so plenty of time. But yeah, looking forward to getting one big further walk in here. Going to be keeping these cuffed right from the get-go so they're not drenched in water and mud and being dragged down the whole time. So I'll be high watering it, but that's all right. Using an old milk jug to carry more water because I don't think there's really going to be any on the coast. I think this is 2 liters. Another liter here, so 3. That should be plenty for this. Really just need to pick up like chips or like bread, carb stuff, and something sweet. And I think that'll be good. It's 9:30 right now. So after I get done with the store and down at the coast, that should give me a good 6 hours of going crazy. We'll see how long it takes me to trudge through, but if I get like a marathon's worth of miles in today, I'd be happy with myself, but it'll probably take longer than that. I also applied to a PGL assistant chef job. It let me pick a few different locations, but on the main listing it only had 1 spot, so it seems like it paid well, and there's an option for the live-in thing, and the Preston area looked interesting enough, or it was within a stone's throw distance of Liverpool and Manchester, so I feel like if I could live in an interesting-ish area but be able to travel to like 2 major cities, that could be like a good enough option, and I wouldn't have to do it forever. So tossed an app for that. It took me like 2 weeks just to apply for one thing, which is not the super grind set, but I think I'm being picky because I believe I can get these jobs, and you know, I'm not applying as like a aspirational, let me get into like these FANG companies, or let me pitch this grand idea to Y Combinator. It's just, okay, let me throw my hat in for some labor jobs and try and be picky about it because I most likely could get it. So we'll see if that ends up being something that bites back for me or not, because I think I would just go for it if I was given it. But I don't know, I keep being hesitant on the teaching role jobs. It's just like, I'm trying to get more like friends and community out of it, but man, the working with kids just feels like another nightmare again. So I don't know, I have the time to be picky, so I think I am defaulting to that, which isn't a bad thing. No reason to be miserable and just kind of do blah 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 here. So I guess I'd rather travel and just kind of spend money away than hop into something that I don't need. All right, let's get some food for this hike. All right, nearly to the water. Little mud sampler, honestly not bad at all. If it is only ever like this, I'm a happy camper, as long as my toes aren't getting soaked. Here's the view for the next 20 miles. Should be pretty nice. I think it's just like coming through. So heavenly. Not expecting something like this at the Dancing Ledge. A little in rock cave jails here. Kind of wishing I brought my flashlight. Ooh. Just kind of looks like a garbage pit in there. No rocks all on me, please. But yeah, very cool cutout. Look down at the little pool. I read that they just got a bunch of dynamite and blew up a square over in this pool for the kids to play in during low tide. That seems like a classic 1800s thing. 4 miles in right now, feeling pretty good. It's only been a bit over an hour, so pace is looking nice. We are going to go along here. I think there's like a church around that bend, and I think there's another marker or point of interest a bit further along here, so maybe a couple more miles until we see anything interesting in terms of a specific landmark. But really nice area to walk along, and the sun was short-lived, but that's all right. It'll keep us cool and feeling all right with our temperature here. In with the cows right now. They're just grazing. How wonderful. Probably along this bend here will be one of the last spots that I'll be able to see where I started from, way down there. So really cool to see the progress tracked along the coast. I think, well, not quite, you know, where I started, but pretty sure that's the lighthouse that's more towards the tip over there. Curves around a little further towards where the castle is, where the park run happens, but we're cresting around where we're not going to be able to see it anymore. So feels like progress. Looks like the sun might come through again, another gap in the clouds here, so feeling great. Don't know what this is, but looks neat, and I got time to check it out. Sun's coming back out too. Beautiful, beautiful day today. Feeling like $1,000,000 other than a little kink in my neck, but that's never stopped me before. Ooh, cool. The quarries are closed, probably for good reason. Look at all those rocks just stacked on top of each other. Not really somewhere where I would want to stand just to look at more rocks, but pretty neat area. I didn't even know this was here, but I love a good surprise. I gotta go down there, and then all of that is a big old path up, and then I don't even know what that is, and then I don't think I had to make it to my original spot here, but I'm gonna keep on going. I have like 4 more hours of daylight, and then it gets dark pretty fast after that, and I should have brought my bike flashlight that I had. That would have been really handy. It almost reminds me of Hawaii a little bit. Well, I want to keep going that way, but my path goes over here, and it looks like there are little paths that kind of putts over, but it's going to be a bit of a detour. On Google Maps, the little foot trails don't really seem to show up very much, and didn't put 2 and 2 together before leaving that the trail, or rather I don't have signal out here, so probably should have downloaded a like All Trails map or something. Nonetheless, there's decent signage around here, so should be able to follow wherever it says coastal path or
you know, my goal is just to follow the coast, so it'll be obvious if I am going back into the city too far. Doesn't feel like it, but this says coastal path, so. Oh, I'm gonna keep trucking along here. I'm guessing it takes me down in elevation and then sends me back around where we were just looking before. Those ladies who were trail running, that was the first time I've ever been asked on a hike or on a walk anywhere how far I've gone. I've thought about being asked that before, like, you know, anytime you feel like you're going slow, and you didn't just being able to say like, well, I've gone 50 miles already, so you can't judge me. They were judging me for going fast, and yeah, I feel like luckily I had to put a good chunk of time and distance into the hike so far. Would have been sad to tell someone, I don't know what the cutoff point is, if you maybe only gone like less than 4 miles, nothing super to brag about very much, but I feel like 9 miles was a good chunk of distance to say. Would have been, you know, someone asked me how far I went once I come home today and I tell them over 20 miles, I'd be happy about that. But you don't get too many times to humble brag, so nice when someone asks. Decent amount of people out on the road today. Let's see, coast path goes left here. There's also a path closed sign. I don't know what that means. Landslip, coast path closed. Maybe I'll read into this. Fortunately, it looks like where I wanted to go, that path is closed. And the diversion sends you all the way up there and then around the town. So normally I'd be like, okay, well, whatever. But the diversion seems so long that I'm almost wondering if I can just cut through here and skip going along the cliff and just walk through this farm area. Save myself some time here and maybe make it a little bit more than an adventure. They also said they give fines for being in the area, which I doubt they have a policeman just sitting up there, but you know, I might trudge over here and see what I see. Ironically, probably more dangerous to climb this part than just go up on the stairs and risk the fine, but that's okay. Interesting triple fence here. That area looks awesome. I think this shouldn't be too hard to get around. I don't like these things. They're really brambly, so not going through here, but maybe I'll be able to walk around a little bit and make my way over into this area here. Digging into the baguette, tastes delicious. I'm gonna scout around a little bit here and see what the situation looks like a little bit further down on the cliffside here. Looks like I can go down here. And I don't think this is the main path. I think almost just looks like animals walk along here, including yours truly, but looks like it'll connect along somewhere here. I don't really know, but really only this bend, as far as I can tell on the map, is what's close, so I'm pretty sure everything I'm doing is kosher, relatively speaking. Alright, nice little diversion and back onto the trail here. Curious how bad the cliff destruction is, but hey, we're back where we want to be. Realistically, I only have another half hour of trekking on here that I could reasonably do, so we'll just see how far I can get. I'm probably not going to get to anywhere that I can't already see, but give it our best go here, and then I'm gonna have to undo everything I just did, but that's okay, that's okay. Part of the adventure. This area, I love the farmland right along the coast. Oh, that gets me going. And the gold of the weed or whatever that is. Holy, that's amazing. Okay, I'm definitely slowing down, and I have a lot more walking to get done here today. So I'm going to crest this hill, enjoy the views, take in some water, some snacks, stretch out a little bit, rest, and then turn 180 degrees and walk back the way I came, and we'll see if I can get back before I get dumped on with the rain. But I feel good about my progress still. I should be at 11 miles at the top of this hill and over 2,000 feet of elevation, so 22 miles in over 4,000 feet. That'll be good for one day for me. All right, this is the furthest I'll be seeing out, all the way out there. A lot further than I thought it was. I don't even really know the exact spot that I was planning on going, but seems as good of a turnaround point as any. I don't think any other major landmarks until that very end spot, which is probably another 5 or 6 miles, which is not happening today. So we are going to, yeah, take a little breather here on this hill and go back through all of this, and we'll call it a day. Probably gonna actually have internet in my break spot here, so I was looking up where I was thinking of going, and that's somehow still another 11 miles at the minimum to get there from here. I've already gone 10 miles, so, or almost 11, so I'm only halfway to where I was envisioning. I was somehow thinking of doing that fully round trip here in one day, so that was sort of gonna happen, of doing a 45-mile day starting at 9 a.m. Maybe if I started at like 4 a.m. that could have worked, but we would have had to plan better. And then public transit back from there is still like 2 hours, because you have to go like out and back. So yeah, I'm happy to call it there, and I'll probably survive without seeing, I think Girdle Door is what it was called. So I'll survive not seeing that, still seeing plenty of beautiful coastline here and ups and downs and farmland. So I'm happy with my big excursion. Okay, we're back at the stairs area. I see the guy that passed me a bit ago over there while I was having lunch, and you know, he's just grinding up the area where there's a cliff issue. And I figure I could hop to the fence here, but this is such an easier trail to walk instead of going in the bumpy grass area. So I'm just gonna go over there, and you know, I can hop the fence anytime, and might end up working better. But I mean, if he's able to walk along here, I guess none of this is totally decayed enough. And there aren't any signs saying that this part is closed, which I find interesting too. Maybe those are a lot earlier in the trail and there's no other way to connect, but whatever. Here's the closure. That's not too bad then. This makes more sense. Not immediately obvious what the cliff is doing, but I trust the signs. Seems like a good as I need to cross. Fuel down and then nowhere close to home free, but gotta walk all the way back up that again. I'm on the level of it, but gotta go down, then up, and then down, and then up, and then stabilizes for the most part there. Oh god, I don't see anyone. Just gonna go over here and just walk down the path. Oh, taking this trail down is way easier than climbing up that hill. As long as there's no one hiding in the bushes to ambush and report me. I don't think anybody can sneak up on me while I have the high ground here. Oh, there's a silly little fence in my way of exiting. I don't really trust in my jumping ability to go over it. Maybe I can, if I take my bag off, I feel like I could swing myself over. It's just not a very stable fence. So, oh, I should have recorded that to show off my parkour skills, but, oh, it's wet. Yeah, do the old plant the hand on there and swing the feet over trick. Works every time, works every time. That guy over there asked me, I couldn't tell if he was gonna be mad at me for hopping the fence or if he saw me, but he just asked me what the trail was like or if it was open. I told him, you know, different parts of it were closed and stuff. Then he asked me what part of Scotland I was from. I was like, oh, I'm from the US. He was like, oh, you have a bit of a Scottish accent. Which I was not trying to do, but maybe I'm a bit of a Scot. I'm not trying to do a British accent. Well, doesn't matter. So tell your friend you're picking up a Scottish accent. Will do, will do. That's funny. Maybe in the past videos you can see some evolution. Not even a year ago, maybe, I guess last April, I re-injured my back, kind of. I don't know, it was a whole saga, but I was doing some short jogging and it like triggered and moved something in my back that I think I had injured a few other times previously from work, and I just could not do anything. I had to sleep on the ground. That was the only place that felt comfortable, and I could stand, but I had to like get on my hands and knees every once in a while and do some glute exercises. I think my glutes are just too weak. And I got an x-ray and I found out I had mild scoliosis, which I never knew. So I was trying to rehabilitate myself and kind of do some physical therapy. I was going on like 3-mile, 1 or 2 mile walks just to kind of use my legs, and there was a walk that I went on, and when I got just over 3 miles, I couldn't walk at all. It was really bizarre. My hips hurt so much, and every movement just felt like my body was contorting and twisting in on itself and just folding it. Like I felt like a hair clip that was just like bending in on itself. It hurt a lot. I just like crippled, very slowly went back home on that walk, and I've been on a good amount of walks since then, but feels good to have like trained in a fairly dedicated way to get back to where I am now, and feels great to be able to use my legs and move around and, you know, go on a 20-mile walk like this, just kind of spur of the moment. Feels great. I have been ignoring my back a little bit just because I don't have a great way to do reverse hyperextensions, which are definitely the most helpful exercise that I was able to do, but still trying to do some clamshells and just use my glutes when I can, because even walking can be good for your back. You just have to activate your body in the correct way. Thankful for my legs, my body, dedication to health is important for me because that's like everything I love doing involves using my body. So taking care of it and being cognizant and listening to it. But this is what you have a body for, to be outside and enjoy the fresh air. Tons of them. Wow. They're looking at me like I'm crazy. No one ever walks around here past 4 p.m. Pretty much in the zone where I can't see much of anything on the ground. I can see like the shiniest puddly bits. But for the most part, if I'm staying on the side, I can avoid it. I also feel like I keep seeing like a weird light coming through. I don't know if that's cars over on the hill there. Oh god, this looks like it sucks from what I can't see at least. Oh, okay, yep. We're really mudding it through this section. Oh, my foot just slid all the way into the mud there. Awesome. We're gonna have to put these shoes in the sink when I get back. All good. Oh. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna have to trudge through here. Don't have any better options right now. Oh god. If I ever plan to come back after sunset, definitely bring my flashlight with me. Make it worth carrying all the way over here. Might as well use it if I have it. We're back in the light. I can see again. Just barely starting to sprinkle as I pull up to the hostel. Incredible. Here's the shoe carnage. Definitely got pretty muddy. That is definitely a morning problem. Oh buddy, I am exhausted, but dinner is served. Like I said, not the biggest fan of frozen pizza from the store, but you gotta make sacrifices on days like today. I mean, it looks pretty good, and maybe, you know, different ingredients, new country. This is stuffed crust, but it's stuffed with sauce. And as a former Pizza Hut employee, I'm a little suspicious of that. So we are gonna see. It's an odd hand-tossed pizza. The crust on the bottom is very thin. And then, I mean, you can kind of taste the sauce, but it's nothing to write home about. And then I gotta try this stuff still. Looks good. But it almost reminds me of how I make pizza at home. I just like stretch the bottom really thin. So, you know, it's not bad.